What happens when someone you love or someone you know is in this negative vortex? And especially as a man, my inclination is always to want to fix it and to want to help and to want to pull them out. I'm gonna tell you a very unpopular answer. You cannot always help that person. You might not be the way to help them out of their negative vortex. You know, the power of wave theory is understanding that when waves are in dissonance, they cancel each other out. There is no way sometimes to help that person get out of their funk, so to speak. If you really know them and you really love them, then you can understand what are those things that are going to help them, and you can help them try to find those things. But I think it's powerful to understand that sometimes you don't have the solution to get them out of that vortex. And you may want to because you love them, and it may also suck because they're getting closer and closer to you and creating that damage around you. But sometimes the best thing you can do is actually remove yourself from that in order to help them find their way back to the light. You know, we tend to want to get somebody out of that, but understanding that that negative energy swirls in such a way that can be so powerful that it can suck you in as well. And you know, I'm not a psychologist. I don't, have all the answers of a psychologist dealing with people who are in addictions and things like that. But there is a reality to understanding who I can help and who I cannot help. And I think that's the power of being in self. You will recognize when you're connected to your essence, you will recognize, do I have the power to help this person right now? And that's what you have to, that's the most important thing to understand, is that when you try to help someone and you feel yourself getting sucked in, then you recognize, I'm not the person to help you right now. I wish I could, I love you, but the best thing I can do from you is to give you space and to remove myself and hope that you can find it for yourself. Someone is in a negative vortex. There's a very unpopular train of thought, which is just because it hurts someone doesn't mean it's wrong. And that person who's in negativity, they may want to engage with you. They may want to suck you in. They're not doing it on purpose. They don't know. They're outside of self and they're trying to bring you in. And you staying away from them could seem hurtful. It might annoy them more. It might make them upset, but you have to recognize when you are not able to help someone. I remember the story of one of my brothers who was drowning in a lake, and my grandmother jumped in to save him. My grandmother didn't know how to swim. Now, that's a heroic act of love in some ways, but it's also a very useless act of trying to save somebody. Because if you're in a place where you can't save them, you're both going to drown. How many times when people are trying to swim and they're drowning and someone goes to save them, they're clawing at you and they try to take you both down. And understanding what you're capable of and what you're not is the best thing that you can do for somebody else. It may hurt them, they may feel pain by that, but that doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do. And I think we have this mistaken concept in our society today that just because it hurts somebody, it makes it wrong. That's not true. So many times when you go to the doctor, they're gonna do things that hurt you, that make you feel pain, but sometimes those are the very best thing that can be done for you. And so understand, when you're around someone who's in that negative vortex, the best thing you can do is to truly be in self, truly be in essence, and not necessarily let them bring you into that. Because when they bring you into it, you're both going to sink.